Okay, so what's your favorite part of production?
Well, I think my favorite part, and I just acknowledged this for the first time yesterday, I think I said it to you,
Oh.
is that we've got repeatable segments. And I try to make it as interesting as possible, but sometimes it's the same old. You know exactly what to expect. But what you and Braxton have finally hit your sweet spot on is the comedy of it. That's part of the appeal. It's not necessarily what we're planning and creating. It's also the real stuff that just is on the fly.
It's like our
when you're
reactions
just
to it.
talking.
Yeah. Sorry, one more time. Welcome back to the PM Podcast, the show where two people talk about random shit, drink some alcohol, and have a good time. I'm Aaron.
I'm Ellen.
And today we're going to be talking about why you hear a different voice. If you're watching it, you can already see it. But if you're listening and you hear a woman's voice, that's because my wife is on the show today. Say hello.
Hello.
Braxton, if you guys have watched this past week of the show, you'll see that she's actually been in a couple episodes. It's just because Braxton's been really busy doing his own thing. So we just scheduling wise and trying to film everything. So we couldn't get it all done. So we figured, well, why not Ellen just step in front of the camera and see what she can do. So
It was a big mistake.
you've done it before. I mean, you're definitely more behind the scenes.
That's where I prefer to be.
Yeah. So I don't know. You definitely. I think you're more uncomfortable in front of camera more than anything. Like you just. I don't know what is it. Why don't you like being in front of camera?
Can't you tell?
Oh,
I'm awkward.
you are very awkward. But you like that shit too. Like you like being awkward.
I think you think that, but that is not true.
Oh, it's not true. Okay, so what is it then? Like so you don't like being awkward.
I like to be funny sometimes, but that's not always how it comes off.
When it crosses into awkwardness, it's like.
I'm just like, I'll
So you
vanish now.
You get uncomfortable because you don't know what to do. It's like, what do I do with my hands? Like that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, today we're going to be talking about some behind the scenes stuff about the show, more of like the production side of it, because we have one of the producers right here across from me. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk about some other shit that just comes off the top of our heads, because this is the first time we've actually ever been on a podcast together, just me and you. We have never just talked in a podcast, me and you.
That's true.
So we've had you at, like, you've been on before, like me and Braxton were talking, you would say something, but this is the first time you've actually ever been in front of camera talking to just me.
Yeah, nobody likes to see that.
Everybody likes to see us bicker, though. It's funny.
Are we going to bicker?
Probably not. I don't like bickering with you on camera.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, if you guys are excited about that, stick around. So before we get into all the topics, though, we do have to have a drink. I know you, well, actually, you don't really know about this because you don't produce this segment. So on every podcast, we have a drink and we rate the drink. And then that's the kind of every month we have a drink of the month that we kind of rate. So the first week it was that Hunch Punch crap, which almost killed us. The second week was Miller Lite, just a nice little beer. And then today we have House Old Fashioned Wine Lemonade. So this is a vented and canned lemonade from Washington State. So I've never had this before. I don't even know this I don't even know what this is, honestly. They have like 4 or 5 different flavors. But cheers. Let's try it out. It's strong.
That is lemonade mixed with wine.
Yeah, exactly. It tastes like, I can taste the wine.
I expected it to be more like Mike's.
Yeah, so let me see a little bit more about this. Oh gosh, it is 9% alcohol.
I will say this, it tastes very good, but it does smell like feet. The smell is not pleasant.
You're right, it does smell like feet. So if you guys want to give these a shot, you definitely can. We'll give it our rating at the end of it. But so right now, one can from where we got it in Indiana is $6.02 after tax. So it's not cheap, but it's 9% alcohol. So it'll get you. It'll get you litty as a titty. So I don't know. We'll rate it at the end of the episode. So stick around to hear about that, and we'll give it our official rating and see if you should buy it. So. But, okay, so we're going to get into the production element in just a second. But I want to talk to you because I have a bone to pick with you. And I'm going to do it right here publicly in front of the entire audience.
So I can't scream and win that way?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, great.
So, me and you have been getting in this argument recently where it's... you're like, where is he going with this? So me and you have been getting in this argument recently. And it happens in front of friends... family, it doesn't matter who it is, you always argue that Rick Astley has 2 hits. He's a 2-hit wonder or whatever. And everyone always classifies him as a 1-hit wonder. And everybody knows, if you guys are listening and watching, everybody knows the getting Rickrolled, right? Never Gonna Give You Up. You all know that one. Right now, I'm going to give everybody an opportunity. She thinks he's a 2-hit wonder. Comment right now the second hit that Rick Astley did. Right now. I'll wait. I'll give about 10 seconds. Okay, so what is the second hit?
It's called Together Forever. And most people do forget it. I get it. But when I play it for people, everybody has heard it.
Sure, but that doesn't mean he's a 2-hit wonder.
He had 2 hits. People know his hits.
Okay, all right. So let's name a Taylor Swift song that's not really a hit, but it's on her album. One of her more popular ones. It's like not a single.
Cruel Summer.
Okay, so would you say most people have heard that song?
Most fans, yeah.
Right, but would you consider that a hit?
Yeah. I do think so, because I think everybody in all the Swifties out there think that it would have been the next single if COVID hadn't hit and another album dropped.
But Rick Astley is not a 2-hit wonder. He's a 1-hit wonder.
Well, I mean, this was a single too. It wasn't just a song from his album.
Well, I guess, but like, okay, so Rick Astley, like, specifically, because the 1-hit wonder definition is a group or a singer that has 1-hit song. Like, it's like, and maybe he had other songs that he did, but that nobody knows him for those songs because he had such a impact with this one.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Before Rickrolled became a thing,
Yeah.
had you ever heard of this song?
Yeah, because it's on every playlist ever from the 80s and that, like.
You remember that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, getting Rickrolled was a thing when I was like in elementary school.
I know.
But I remember like my dad listening to 80s music and 70s music, and he'd have
okay. So
I'm a weird one.
Case.
Yeah, because
I will tell you this. I never heard of Never Gonna Give You Up until Rickrolling became an actual thing.
Really?
So is he really a hit, or was he just brought back as a meme before memes were mainstream? And therefore, was the song a hit?
Well, no, it was a hit because it's still like.
But the argument I'm trying to get to is, if it was not apparent to anyone in our generation before Rickrolling was memed, how do you know that Together Forever wasn't more popular at the time?
It definitely wasn't, because I didn't know that song existed until you told me about it when we got married.
I'm just saying, your level of awareness does not necessarily mean that the rest of the world is right there with you.
It definitely wasn't as popular. Like, it just wasn't. Like, Rickrolling didn't become a thing until 2007.
But, again, that doesn't mean it wasn't a hit. Do you know?
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't think it was a hit, though. Because
But you weren't from the 80s.
I guess it could have been a hit, but at the same time, he's classified as a 1-hit wonder because that one song did so well that it landed itself in pop culture forever. right? Like it will never go away. So I think that you could be potentially right, but everything else he did, his previous works, are so overshadowed by this one song. That's what classifies him as a one-hit wonder, and which is why I guarantee you nobody named the song in the comments below just then, because it's just so, everybody knows the one song, and you're like, and you probably had some that cheated, like they Googled it and and typed it in, but like it's just. If you were to walk up to anybody and say, name 2 songs by Rick Astley, everybody's going to give you one, and then they're going to go,
At the end of the day, I think Together Forever is a much better song. I enjoy it more.
Fine. There's tons of artists out there.
I'm not going to say he only had one hit, though.
Actually,
That's
Taylor
not
Swift.
true.
Taylor Swift had a lot of songs that I think her singles sucked, but her album were pretty good. Was pretty good. I don't know the correct grammar there. I don't know, whatever. But like, he could have had a couple hits, but I don't think it's a hit compared to like he's like everything else is here, and then the one song is way up there. Like, what's her name wasn't a one-hit wonder. What's her freaking name? She was on. Oh my God, what? I can't remember. There's a female artist that was in the 80s as well, and she was a one-hit wonder. Oh, even Rebecca Black. Okay, let's do something from our generation. Rebecca Black. Everybody knows that one song, right? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it?
Friday.
Yeah, okay. So for everybody knows Friday. Did you know she made three other songs that didn't go anywhere, that no one knows about? But the second song was featured on the Teen Choice Awards. But no one knows it because that one song catapulted into fame and virality or whatever. Like, it was so big that nothing else mattered. That's what I think is like a one-hit wonder. Like, she was.
Is that a hit, or was that just something
Friday?
for people to laugh about?
I mean, probably both, but well, I think you had different sects of people. Like, you had like one group that was like, "This is freaking awesome." You had another group that was like, "Ha, this is fucking stupid," and then you had like the old people was like, "I don't understand."
I was like 21 when that came out, and I remember.
How old was I then?
I did not understand it either.
Well, yeah, you weren't young enough.
I wasn't 15.
I don't think it was that. I think it was younger. Sorry, my chair was being stupid. I think I was younger because, like, you had to be. Okay, how old was I?
Well, I'm kind of.
You're 21, so I would have been 13.
I'm not 100% sure that I was 21. That's just.
Well, let's just say you were 20 then.
Time blurs together.
Yeah, true. Let's just say, okay, when did that song come out? You're always good about that.
I was in college.
Oh,
it was probably.
No, I was 12 or 13. I know that for a fact.
So I must have been like 20.
Okay. Yeah, we're a little bit apart in age. I don't know how many of you guys, because you're listening to us now over the past couple of years. I don't know how much you guys actually know about us, but yeah, we're like 7 years apart. So
8 years in school.
Yeah, 8 years.
It's traumatizing.
Yeah, it really is. But so 7 years, and so I was 12 because I remember walking a college campus for like this church thing, and I was like 12 or 13.
Okay.
Yeah. So God. But like even then, so I think like a little bit younger than me is when it was popular at that time. So it's like 10-year-olds, like people like that love kids that love Baby Shark. Like I feel like Friday would have been the same kind of thing. Like Baby Shark was so big in the media, and people make fun of it or remix it. I think Friday was the same kind of concept. Would have been the same kind of concept. But people are cruel and mean and whatever. So I don't know. Yeah. So. I just think that like there's a couple hits that these artists do, but they're so overshadowed by their one hit that everyone knows. That's what I mean by
everybody knows Together Forever.
They don't.
They know it. They just don't know they know it.
Yes, but like if you have somebody and you say like, hey, sing that song, they can't sing it. If you play it for them, they might know it. They might have heard it. But they don't know the song, and they don't know how to sing the song. Like, I could name artists that you couldn't sing a song to, probably. You're like, oh.
Please don't.
But if I played it, you'd be like, oh, yeah.
Please don't.
I'm not going to. I'm just saying, like, you get where I'm coming from. You're picking up what I'm putting down.
I'd rather not.
You're being so mean. Come on. See, this is the point. This is where you're trying to be funny, and it's making it more awkward.
That could be.
No, it definitely is because like.
Okay, I'll stop. I'll just stop talking.
No, that's kind of hard for a podcast. You gotta talk.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell me what to say.
No, oh my God, woman.
This is normal.
This is our life. This is our life. Like you're God, can you imagine being on a set with her? Oh, so bad. Oh, they don't see a lot of that because we cut it out. But it's like, okay, so in the studio, like her setup. So there's the main camera, right, and then just immediately to our right is a screen or a monitor that we can see ourselves on. So I can see me, I can see Braxton, and I can see whatever's in front of us on the desk. So that way we know like what's in frame. And then to our immediate left is like a 40-inch TV, right? Something like that.
Sure.
It's like 40 inches, I think, but it's her monitor. So if we have like a video we need to watch, or if we have some kind of like fact that we need to read about a thing. So it's like, oh, this product was made then, and we have like all the facts about it that she can pull up and she can show it. But that takes up most of the studio. So between the camera and the two monitors and the microphone and everything else, we don't film in a very big room. I think people don't understand that. Like the room is tiny, tiny. You need to put that in front of your mouth. There you go. Like, is it not?
I mean, yeah, but
Like, well, and people.
well,
Yeah.
don't pull back the curtain. It's supposed to be magical.
Nah, we can pull back the curtain on this. Because most people that listen to this don't watch the show. So
they really don't care.
yeah, they don't give a fuck. But well, they care about like they're interested about behind the scenes stuff. So, like, okay, for instance, the room that we're filming in right now, it's 10 by 12, 10 by 10.
I have no idea.
It's a very small room. Like literally where the walls end, you can actually see them on camera. There's maybe 3 feet before you get to the door. So it's like, it's a really small room. And then the other studio, the room's a little bit bigger, but it still has about the same dimensions. Like it's a very small room. So once you have all the monitors and the camera behind that, I mean, well, actually right by the camera and the wall, you maybe have what? 1.5 feet to 2 feet to just walk through that to get to your station. So it's cramped because we don't really have a whole lot of room because we use this house. We live in this house. But at the same time, we also like have our offices here. So like everybody that works or part-time, full-time, whatever, like we have them work here and it's tiny. So I don't know. It's cheaper. It works for us because the show doesn't make a whole lot of money, if any. So at the moment, so it helps us keep our overhead at check, but it also is kind of inhibiting sometimes because it's really, really tiny. But, so go ahead and explain your station and what you do, I guess, is because she cannot see us. So I guess my main point of this is she can see us on her little screen, but we can't see her. So sometimes she'll like say shit because she thinks that we can't hear her, but she's only like 2 feet from us.
Oh, I never think you can't hear me.
Oh, you're just being a dick.
Yeah. I think it's fun. It's fun for me. Like if I'm going to be taking time from my day to help you film.
Yeah, true.
I'm going to have some fun with it too. I mean, you guys get to have fun. Why shouldn't I?
Yeah, like I think this is what we filmed Friday, and I don't know what you were doing, but you leaned over. We said something, and you were like, fuckhead. Or something.
I don't use that term.
You said something along, or like, bitch. Or like, you whispered something, and Braxton kind of looked at me, and he was like, oh. But you know he does that. I love it where you'll say something sassy to me, and he'll be like, ooh.
He just enjoys it. Like anybody likes a good burn, you know?
Yeah, true. You like it way too much. And the thing is, no, hold on. You don't do it to anybody else except me. Like,
is that true?
You're so nice. You're so nice to everybody else. Well, Eli.
Yeah.
But you're so nice to everybody else, and then you're like, oh yeah, I love that. Oh, I love you, and you look at me and you're like, bitch. Like, what the fuck? By the way, guys, I could be doing anything. I could be chilling, sitting in a room, doing nothing. She'll walk in the room, look at me, and go, fucker. I'm like, what?
Dude. I do that.
You do that all the fucking time.
Sometimes I just like want to get some aggression out.
This happened last night. You walked in the bedroom. I was laying in bed, and you were like, "What's up, fucker?" I'm like, like, what?
I don't even remember that. I think it just rolls off the tongue before I even think about it.
Or you like throw me under the bus in front of my family. You're not doing it meanly, but it's just like you'll say something. You'll be like, remember that time you did this, and it's something about the person in the room, and they didn't know about it or something like. No, you've done it before. Yeah, you've said something that I said or I've said to you, and then they were like, "What?" I'm like, oh shit.
Well, this is the same man though that will be on the phone with his dad, and I will be in a different room minding my own business, but he'll be like, "Hey, Dad, I gotta get off here. Ellen wants to spend time with me." I'm like, I do not. I want to read my book. Talk to your dad. I don't care. Don't throw me under the bus like that.
Well, I mean, like, it's not just with dad either. It's a lot of conversations. Sometimes, like, if I'm trying to do something, I don't want to seem rude. Like, I don't want to be like, hey, I gotta go and like hang up on him.
But it's always Ellen wants to get.
Yeah, because you're always a good excuse. Like you're
That's
always
a terrible excuse.
My wife wants to spend time with me. That's a bad excuse.
When you say it like, oh, Ellen's like, get off the phone. You've said that before.
I've done that before.
That's awful.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just payback. It's give and take. It's a loving relationship.
It is.
It is. You roll over, smack me in the face. I say good night. You go like, fuck off.
That has never happened.
You have tried. I have. Oh, no. This happened. So we were in bed. I think it was like 2 weeks ago or something like that. And it was like really late. And I was just dead asleep. And apparently I was being like super squirmy or something. And I rolled over and you were like, fucking stop moving. I was like, what? Because I was asleep and I woke up out of this. And by the way, the only reason I woke up is because she smacked me on the shoulder. She was like, quit fucking moving. And I was like, oh my God. And so I rolled over and I nudged her and I was like, I'm asleep. What's wrong? And she goes, nothing. And then rolls over and goes to sleep. I'm like, what has happened?
I did not roll over and go to sleep. And I screamed at you because I couldn't go to sleep because you were squirming. A lot. Like it was an abnormal amount of squirming that night.
An abnormal amount of squirming.
Oh, yeah. Like you normally squirm.
I do.
It's like whatever.
I really
but
do.
Like I could not sleep.
Is that like the most annoying habit that I have that I do? I am. What's the most annoying?
The most annoying is when you will take your dishes to the sink.
Oh, I know.
And you will throw them in the dirty dishwater instead of putting them in the dishwasher.
Yeah, I do that every once in a while. I don't do
like there is no breaking you of that. I've tried.
That's not true.
We are 5 years in, dude.
That's not necessarily true.
You did it last night.
I mean, wait, how?
The dishes are still down there.
Which one?
The plate from dinner.
I don't remember. Where's that at? It's not in the dishwater.
It's on the counter. But you threw the spoon in there.
I did because I thought you were like doing dishes, and I was like, because last night it was foamy still, so I was like, oh, I'll just throw it in there because I thought you were doing dishes. So I don't know. I always have good excuses, guys. I really do. But it's like actually, I don't even think it's an excuse. Sometimes I think I have my reasoning and my way of thought, and then she thinks it's fucking stupid. And it's my
Usually it is by normal people's standards.
No, it is not. It is not. You're the weird one in a lot of cases.
We're nice to each other. I swear.
We are. We're somewhat loving. No, I'm kidding. We're loving. We like fucking with each other. But at the same time, we also push it way too far sometimes.
We started as friends, if that means anything.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, we were best friends that fucked a lot. But, you know. What? Sorry. We were friends with benefits. They know that. Everyone that watches the show knows that.
I'm uncomfortable now.
What? Just 100,000 people that know that we were hooking up before we got together?
New subject, please.
Do what?
New subject, please.
Oh, fine. No, we were friends before we started dating. For how long were we friends? Like a year almost? Close to it, probably.
Yeah.
There was 4 months where we didn't talk, but I would say we were friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we reached out to each other a couple times in that 4 months too. Like we weren't completely ghosted. So.
If you say so.
Well, you reached out to me and I texted you.
Dude, you changed your number halfway through. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that wasn't because of you, by the way.
It didn't matter. I couldn't reach you.
Didn't I text you? I thought I sent like a mass message to everybody. I was like, "Hey, here's my new number." Didn't I not? Oh shit! Whoops. Whoopsie. Anyway, yeah, that's us. So we love each other. It's just we like fucking with each other, and sometimes it makes us mad or confused. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about production. So, the production aspect for you, I guess. Like, let's talk about like your least favorite and your most favorite part of production. So let's talk about the least first. Start with the bad and then end with the good.
The bad was probably last season when we instituted a segment called Fan Day, and only about half the time.
Explain Fan Day real quick.
Okay, so Fan Day was a segment we created where it was going to be a mixture of us trying out new segment ideas, using it kind of like a backdoor pilot for all of you people who understand television terms. We were going to leave that segment open weekly for really anything that came to mind that we wanted to try out.
Fan comments, etc.
Yeah, so half the time it would be the stuff like new segment concepts. And when we didn't necessarily have a new concept, we would turn to the fan comments and try to see what do they want to see us do.
Right.
But there were kind of a lot of weeks. I wouldn't say half, but there were a good number of weeks there where there was no source to pull from. So I had to, as the head producer, come up with a lot of random things that would be interesting, but I really only had like a couple days notice to do it because we would wait to see if anything would come in, and nothing did.
Nothing, yeah. That was a big problem.
That
for
was
us.
stressful.
Yeah, because the way we do production, I think we're a little bit better at it now, but not really. Because even still, so we've talked about this briefly before, so I'll kind of recap it. As far as planning, we plan the whole season in advance because we're filming so much all the time. So we have to make sure that we're planned. So we have like 2 or 3 months in between seasons, right? So we'll post like podcast or summer series or whatever. But during that time, we'll be planning the show. So we planned all of the show for season 2, and we had this segment called Between the Sheets that was supposed to have people coming in and sitting in a bed with me and Blake at the time and interview them. And it was going to be funny, quirky, goofy. And then the pandemic happened and nobody wanted to be on the show. So we had to, and the segment sucked. Nobody liked to watch it. So,
well, we may bring it back now that COVID's over if people wanted to see it.
If you wanted to see it, we might do like a special, here you go, but it's not going to be a continuous segment.
Yeah, last year was not a good time to have it.
No, it was really bad. And so we cut the segment like 3 weeks in, like 3-4 weeks in.
Dude, I wrote like 5 or 6 bedtime stories for that segment. We had it for a while.
Okay, so it might have been like 6 or 7 weeks. But we had like the first 6 to 7 weeks of the show, we did this segment and it just didn't work. It bombed. Nobody wanted to watch it. It got dislikes for the first time. Like we were like, oh shit, everybody hates this. So we switched it up. But the problem with switching it up is that everything that we'd had planned for Tuesdays, now we had nothing. And we were in the middle of production. So we couldn't just stop everything and then plan out 52 or whatever segments. We had to just go off the fly. And the way we do production is the week before we film, we plan. So like if we have anything to prepare, so she'll do videos for Hump Day. If we always do that the week before we film because there could be a trending thing that happens the week before that we can take advantage of and kind of get more views out of it. So we always wait the week before to make sure we have everything ready for production. And it was really stressful when we didn't even have a concept to go off of. Like at least with Hump Day, it's 5 videos. You're going to play 1 of 3 games and it's fine. With Fan Day, it was nothing. So, although you came up with
and I came up with a lot of ideas that he just didn't want to do because he wants to stay in the studio for some of this. And I'm like, this would be fun to have a field trip, film on location sometimes, but he didn't want to.
Not because it wouldn't be fun, just because it'd be hard with the way we film right now, because none of us are really full time in the show. So
Yeah.
like the only person who is technically full time in the show is me, but because everybody else has jobs and they come here and they work on the show, so it's like I'm the only one that's really doing all of this all the time. So it's hard for us to we film everything in one day, by the way, just so you know. So everything you see, we film like 2 weeks at a time right now, and we get everything. So like we're 4 weeks ahead of the show on this podcast. We are going to be 6 weeks ahead of season 3. So like we film a lot all at once. So it'd just be really hard to do it, I think, that way. But yeah, so she does a lot of work for the show. But yeah, I get that, trying to plan a whole season in the middle of a season and trying to figure out interesting concepts. But staying behind the desk, they want it, and it also helps us stay centered. So because like it's so much easier if we're just all in the studio and we just keep filming. It's way easier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's your favorite part of production?
Well, I think my favorite part, and I just acknowledged this for the first time yesterday, I think I said it to you.
Oh.
Is that we've got repeatable segments. And I try to make it as interesting as possible, but sometimes it's the same old. You know exactly what to expect. But what you and Braxton have finally hit your sweet spot on is the comedy of it. That's part of the appeal. It's not necessarily what we're planning and creating. It's also the real stuff that just is on the fly.
It's like our
when you're
reactions
just
to
talking.
it. Yeah, that's
and I
true.
think that's part of what the heart is, and that takes a little bit of the pressure off me.
Because it's coming. It's not on you. It's on you
to be entertaining.
Right. It's on us.
Yeah, I'm just giving you input at this point.
Right. Which is, I think that's what they come for. They don't come for the, like, if they came for the videos, they just watch the video. Like, they just go type in nut shots or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They come back and watch us because they want to see our genuine reactions to those nut shots.
And that's why the show is getting a lot better.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, cool. So that's your favorite part, is watching us react to stuff?
My favorite part is the pressure it takes off me.
What's your favorite part about the show? Like, what aspect? Like, you always laugh when we do something stupid. Like, when we're making fun and having comedy, you do love that.
To me, it's fun to juggle, to keep a lot of stuff in the air. And so there are some weeks where there is so much production to do, and just making sure it all stays like it should. Like, it all goes as it should. And that's a lot of pressure sometimes, depending on how complex the week is. And it's just really nice at the end of the day when I pull it all off.
Yeah.
And it went smoothly, and the time wasn't an issue. And just the feeling of accomplishment at the end of all of that.
Knowing that it all went to plan.
That it all worked.
Yeah. So not this past week.
Last week was hard.
Yeah, last week
we
was
had
rough.
to cook 9 different dishes of ramen.
Well, and just things weren't going right. We had technical issues and camera issues, and
Well, that was on you, dude.
it's on all of us because I can't do it all. And we had a meeting afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, like we all have to be accountable. I know we're all doing jobs, but like we all need to make sure that we're all doing helping out everybody else.
So part of why I was on the show this week was because we filmed all the segments, but the podcast. He didn't have time to stay and film this podcast.
Which makes sense.
But we filmed the 2 episodes I was on earlier this week with Braxton, but we lost the footage.
Yeah, so
we had technical difficulties.
I wasn't going to say it, but so what happened was, the reason Braxton is busy, so he can't come back and reshoot. Also, he's 2 hours away. So when he leaves, it takes him 2 hours to get here, and he's also working crazy hours right now. So for him to drop everything, drive 2 hours to film 2 segments, it's just not worth it. Because what happened was we were filming, and the first one, we have the audio but no video, and we didn't know why they weren't synced, because everything is synced into one. You press play, it all rolls. But no idea why. So we're like, that's fucking weird. Okay, we'll just make 1 episode up. We'll film 1 more episode. No big deal. And then we filmed another episode. I was going through the footage, and we have like 2 minutes of footage and no audio. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I found out that the remote that controls the monitors in the studio. When the monitor is connected to the camera and you hit power, it turns off the camera. So if we're rolling, it will stop rolling.
I think we should hide that remote then, don't you?
Yeah.
Don't do that again.
No, it sucked so bad.
Like I had to ask our other producer to create a whole new hump day segment because I mean, usually I do that, but I was the one who had to refilm it.
Yeah, you were the one who had to be in front of camera with me filming
Yeah.
it.
So our freaking backup producer on his day off had to come up with a new segment. So
sorry.
yeah, I felt kind of bad about that.
I mean, it happens. Like every season we have these issues. Season 1, we did a live show for 6 hours and didn't get any of it, even though we filmed the whole thing.
That was the biggest heartbreak.
That hurt so bad. It really did. Because we got home and so what happened there is we'd filmed all of it. We had the audio, and the SD card got corrupted. Still don't know how that happened. But we lost all the footage, and then we didn't have audio either.
And it was a good segment too, guys.
Oh man, the live show was awesome. That's the first live show we'd ever done, and it was like we were on there for an hour, and then we filmed the other people. And it was a great live show, comedy guests, music.
So yeah, for those of you who knew us at the time,
literally like
that's a treat for you. You are the only people who have ever seen it.
The whole 15 of you that were there. it was like 30 or 40 people, but it's a small little bar up in Anderson that we did that at. But it was fun. But yeah, I just didn't get the film, didn't get the footage. And then season 2, we missed an entire week. So instead of being 4 weeks ahead, we were 3 weeks ahead because Blake got sick. And then we were trying to film a Halloween episode, and we weren't rolling the whole time and had to reshoot it. And so we started filming at 4 o'clock that afternoon. We were done at 2 o'clock that morning. So that was a rough day. And then now...
Well, the same thing happened with the 25 days of alcohol. That was a rough day
Wait. Staying that late?
Well, it was like...
We didn't...
Well, Braxton came. He was the bartender at that time.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
and he came at like 4, but then Blake just didn't show up till like 7.
So the call time was 5 o'clock. So because for the 25 days of alcohol, we didn't want to drink and then wait a week and then drink and then wait. So we just wanted to do it all at once. We're like, fuck it, we'll just film all of these alcohol segments at once. Probably not the smartest idea, but we did it anyway.
Really hard for your producer to coordinate.
Yeah, for real. Oh my God, because it's 32 drinks, 8 drinks in each category, 4 categories. So she had to like make sure they were all ready, done, ready to be filmed. We had to make this board and decorate. Oh, it was fucking crazy. But we'd hired a bartender who was now our host, Braxton, right? So Braxton came on the show, and the call time was 5 o'clock. Everybody's supposed to be there at 5 o'clock so we can get started filming early. And Braxton got there at like 4:45, super early, ready to go. Walked him in, talked about, what he's going to do, his station and all that. And then we're waiting for him. 5 o'clock comes around. Blake hadn't shown up. I'm like, all right. Text him, nothing. 5:30, nothing. Okay, we need to get going. It's gonna be late. 6 o'clock, nothing.
Oh, he texted around there, didn't he?
6:30. So I call him at 6 o'clock, and nothing. And then 6:30 rolls around, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And he calls me, and he's saying he's just leaving Fisher's. He'll be over soon. So like at 7 o'clock he gets there, 7:30 we start filming, and 3 a.m. we're done with filming. That was the worst filming thing ever. And then this season, now we have lost fucking footage. Again, it happens every season. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
just don't let it happen again.
What's that from?
Monsters Inc.
Don't let it happen again.
You're better at that than I am.
Oh, thank you.
I tried. I did my best.
What's her famous saying?
I didn't watch that movie all that much.
Isn't it like Mike Wazowski or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mike Wazowski. That one or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Production's fun, but it can be challenging.
Yeah.
But we're glad you like it.
As long as it turns into something that's worth it to people.
Yeah. If you could change one thing about the show, what would you change?
I wish that there wasn't so much to clean up after.
Oh, yeah.
You guys drink so much apple juice.
You could say alcohol. It's a
So
podcast.
sticky.
Yeah.
And so many cans from the apple juice.
You can say beer. It's a podcast. They don't care.
Oh my gosh, so much beer, dude. There is a beer can in the studio sitting on the floor right now. I don't know if it's empty or full,
No,
but
it's empty.
it is laying on its side.
Guys,
This is not a frat house.
might as well be.
Oh, that's so gross.
We're very busy people. It's fine. Cool. So this is fun. I've never sat in here
like
and talking
there's
about this.
trash sitting on that shelf
No, there's
behind
not
you.
trash. It's Baja Blast.
Oh, is there still Baja in there?
I don't know.
I've never had Baja.
You can try it if you want.
Really?
You've never had Baja Blast?
I've never had Baja Blast.
Oh, there you go. No, first experience with Baja Blast. What do you think? Good, right?
It's like a little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
But it's glacier freeze with carbonation and a little more sugar.
Dude, Baja Blast is the shit. I love that stuff.
That's pretty good. And now I get why you double your cost in food when you go to Taco Bell.
It is
You
like-
always get this.
It is expensive. It's like $2.90 or $2.20 something. It's expensive, but it's good.
But he'll spend more on Baja Blast than he will on his food at Taco Bell.
That's true.
And it irritates me to no end.
I spend $2.14 at Taco Bell on food. I spend $2.29 on Baja Blast.
As an accountant, that just blows my mind.
Yeah, especially when that costs 19 cents to make.
Yeah.
But this has been fun. So what we do at the end of the episode is we rate the drinks, and then that's it.
I haven't finished it yet.
We don't have to finish
Does that
it.
matter?
We can chug it if you
Are
want.
you going to make me chug it?
We can chug it. Do you want to?
That's not this show, though, is it?
No, but we can.
I have no idea what you do on the show.
We can chug. Do you want to chug it?
Sure.
All right, chug it. Here we go.
Nope, can't. Gosh. It tastes a little more like feet when you chug it, too. Don't let it get warm, guys.
No.
Drink it fast.
Yeah, for real. So it's on a scale of 1 to 10, and you can say where you rate this.
Well, that's hard because I'm not as strict as you on
I mean,
scales.
your scale's fine.
Okay, fine. On my scale, it is a 6.
I was gonna say 5. So yeah, right in there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not like the best. Actually, I'm gonna give it a 4 because it's $6 a can. I don't think it's worth it. That honestly.
Yeah, I wish there was more lemonade in it.
Do you want to drop it then? Because like Mike's Hard, if I'm buying some lemonade, I want to taste lemonade. I don't want to taste
because
lemonade.
I think this is a beautiful can that does a lot for me.
Well, then give it a 5. Put it in the middle. Because cost is too much. Taste isn't right.
Plus,
so it's average.
here's what it did for me.
Got you drunk?
It has opened me to the idea that I can make a lemonade spritzer.
True.
And I think that is an excellent, fantastic idea, and I will be using it in the future. So
she's gonna give it a 6 then.
it has pushed me down roads I never thought I'd go. And I'm happy for it.
Just like me.
Oh, yeah. I have no idea what we're talking about anymore.
The road you're going down. You've pushed me down many roads, and I'm like, yep, just like me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I've gotten you out of your shell though. Okay, well, thank you guys for tuning in to the PM podcast. Anything you want to add? Tell the audience.
Make good choices.
We shout out a country that subscribes to us, so you can just pick a country and
Oh.
shout them out.
I have no idea what country subscribe to you, though.
We're in a lot of countries. Just name one. I'll tell you if we're there or not.
Czechoslovakia.
Probably not.
Czech Republic.
Yeah,
It's not
it's
Slovakia
Czech
anymore.
Republic and Slovakia.
I am so sorry if I offended anybody.
She's drunk. It's fine. Go ahead. Name a country.
Germany.
Germany. We have 3 followers in Germany. So shout out to Germany. If you're the 3 of you that are listening, share it. If you listen, Germans, if you 3 people share it with 3 more people, and each of you share it with 3 people, that means that we will have 12 people that listen in Germany.
No.
3, 6, 9 plus 3 is 12. Yes.
It's like a bracket.
Okay,
It branches off.
Listen, if these 3 people share it with 3 people, it's 3, 6, 9 plus the original 3 is 12.
Okay.
So if they share it with 3 people,
I thought you had gone
it's
down an
12
extra branch
people.
further than that. I lost track with your verbs.
Well, no, if you do that, it'd be 3, 6, 9, 12. And then it would be like...
Yeah, I definitely thought you'd gone a step further than you had.
And then it would be 15, 18, 21...
Stay in school, kids.
24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39. So it'd be 39 people if you went out one further.
Why wouldn't you just multiply 12 times 3 and add 12?
Shut up, Okay, I'm just doing the numbers thing. Anyway, yeah, so Germany, you don't care anymore at this point. You probably don't want to listen to us anymore. But seriously, share it. For those of you that aren't in Germany and you're listening somewhere else in the world, share it, subscribe. What are you doing? And we love all of you. Buy some merch. Potty Mouth Show. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. And anything else?
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Cool names deserves cool merch. Get the new Blackout logo zip-up hoodie today. Comfort, quality, and style all in one. Available right now at pottymouthshow.com.